Yoel was looking forward to a well-earned break. He was an incredibly hard worker. He was almost addicted to work. He got a kick out of meeting targets and exceeding them. He was a high achiever and proud of it. The only problem was that he was wearing himself into the ground. Not only that, but he was skating on thin ice when it came to his relationship with his wife, Diane. Diane was a pharmacist and worked at hours. She realized her work and found a great satisfaction in helping and assisting people as much as she could. Of course, like any job, it came with its frustration, but overall, she enjoyed her work and the sociable working hours. Diane treasured her weekends doing exciting new things with her friends and when he was free from work commitments Yoel. The difference between Yoel and Diane was that Yoel lived to work and Diane worked to live. For Diane, it was impressive that she enjoyed her free time. She didn't want to think about work when she wasn't here. In her opinion, life was about exploring, pushing herself and expressing joy in the little things. Yoel worked for a publishing company and felt under pressure to help the authors he represented as much as he could. This meant long, tiring, arduous days on the telephone at meetings and smoozing at networking events across the city. Due to Yoel's long, unsociable working hours, the amount of quality time he and Diane spent together was slowly diminishing. They were like ships passing in the night. Often, when they did steal a moment together, they would talk about mundane things like the washing, grocery shopping, or bills. The romance was fading before their very eyes. Diane and Yoel met true friends and hit it off instantly. They shared similar hobbies and interests and, most importantly, they had the same sarcastic, dry sense of humor. They made each other howl with laughter. That laughter had dissipated in recent months as work had consumed your life. Diane had tried to speak to him about it, but he didn't see a problem. He wanted to succeed in his role so they could have the finer things in life. But Diane wasn't interested in that. Diane wanted to earn enough money to do fun things and spend quality time with the people she loved. She didn't care about showing off or keeping up with the Joneses. Diane was beginning to wonder whether Yoel cared about more his role at the publishing house than he did as her husband. Diane felt as though she was fading into the background. She had become invisible. She missed their cues, laughter, the way he made time for her, and the little things that do together. You will miss spending time with Diane, too. He was so preoccupied that he didn't realize how much he was away from home. He adored his work and felt like he wasn't making a difference, but at what cost? Diane discussed his concern with her friends one Friday evening over curry and beers in the local pub. Her friends were an electric group of inspiring people she'd met over the years, and although they were all incredibly different, they got on like a house on fire. They gave her a wide range of opinions and advice. In the end, she knew she just had to follow her gut instinct, and that was to tell the truth. No matter how confrontational, it was the right thing to do. The next day, when Yo had a rare day off, she made breakfast and eloquently told him how she felt he was neglecting their relationship, but more importantly, himself. He had always said that he would never get up in work and that he would be able to separate his life from his job, no matter how much he loved and drew value from it. The realization suddenly dawned on Yoel that he had become outconsumed by money. Yes, he did want to help his clients, but he had become greedy. He wanted more commission and a higher status at work. He suddenly felt ashamed. He had jumped on the hamster wheel of working life and forgotten some of his core values. He took a step back and reflected what he had been doing. He didn't want to lose the one-of-kind relationship that he shared with Diane. He concluded that he could still be a hard worker, but that didn't have to jeopardize the good things in life. He needed to remember that he was replaceable at work, but he would never be replaceable to Diane and their family and her friends. He was an integral part of their life, and they miss him. He took a step back and made time for himself, for Diane, and for his mental health. For work was one of his passions, but it need not become his life. His life was his friends, family, and Diane, and he realized it was high time he made them his priority again.